Chapter 1. A Castle Overrun. My castle is set in the midst of a broad plain. Further afield are ponds surrounded by stalky, untended reeds and flaxes. And numerous stands of trees provide a rich foraging habitat. For assorted wildlife. I was born there, and at that time I inherited what was designed as a strong fortress. But as I grew, I realized that it was home to a turgid throng of weedy creatures. They were hiding in every available nook and cranny. And cluttering and spoiling the place. It all seemed innocent and normal enough, though. In fact, the situation in and around this castle of mine wasn't much different from any of the other castles in the land. So I grew to live with it, just like everyone else seemed to. But as time went on, it became obvious that my castle was really overrun with them. However, my reaction was fairly typical. I found it a lot easier to occupy myself with all sorts of affairs. Happening in the peripheral world, outside the castle. In fact, I had involved myself with so many activities and had become so very busy that now, by and by, I had become quite entangled. Any time I tried to look at what was happening on the inside, I found that all sorts of dust and dirt got stirred up. So my visits there became fewer and fewer. Now this was ridiculous, considering it was really my castle and my palace. I began to get the feeling that these creatures planned to become permanent residents. They were long overdue for expulsion. But you know, they could be quite nasty. If I even suggested I wanted to move back in and clean up a bit. So they were left more and more to continue undisturbed in relative comfort. The mystery surrounding them only deepened. I could see no rescue. Sometimes, though, my zeal would be excited by something someone said. And I would flare up eagerly against them. But they got to know that they only needed to hold on for a bit. They figured out that I'd soon settle down, and I'd stop trying to change things. Or these malignant creatures could appear willing to concede some acceptable losses whenever I tried to exercise a bit of righteous indignation. At those times, a few of the more noticeable ones would be forced to leave. But the majority would keep the position they had been enjoying. So, in this manner, the day of their expulsion was repeatedly delayed. The pattern became more and more established, and they became harder and harder to overcome. Our land, which includes a vast number of castles, not unlike mine, is protected by a covenant with one who is more powerful than all other rulers. I found out a few things about this once. When I spoke with the messenger of the High One. Why is this covenant so important? I asked him. Making contact with this messenger was always a little like being visited by a fresh and liberating breath of wind. An excitement would swell up inside me. However, his answers were often not immediate. Nor as I might have expected. In fact, contact with him was not something I could describe easily. I had to wait for some time, but then, one day, he gave a reply.